Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today we're taking a closer look at the T-16 Skyhopper Lego custom build from the designer David Buckles. This ship is good at taking out womp rats, and I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the only vehicle we see as a toy within the Star Wars universe. It's an excellent little airspeeder design, and before we go any further into the details of the model, first I'd like to say that the instructions can be found at our web store www.brickvault.toys, linked in the description below. With each purchase comes the PDF step-by-step building guide and a parts list for fast ordering on websites like Bricklink. We physically test the model, get rid of rare pieces, and provide instructions that can be simply followed. Buying instructions also help support everyone we work with, like David. He's got quite a few excellent models under his belt already. He leaves nothing on the table when he tackles a new design, and you'll find that the T-16 has some extremely advanced internals for an unexpected function, at least at this size. Before I get lost in the ship's cool features, first off, let me just say that it's built to minifigure scale. That means the Skyhopper is the correct size when compared to the rest of the Star Wars custom builds you see flashing by the screen, and while on the stand in its flying position, the model measures out to 5¼ inches long, 13 centimeters, 10 inches wide at 25 centimeters, and 11 inches high, 28 centimeters. For a single-seater, it's certainly not a bad size for an aircraft. Feels weird saying aircraft for a Star Wars vehicle, but I don't think this thing actually flies in space. And now let's talk about this really cool folding feature that David managed to integrate. I knew there was something up while building this model because there were a lot of gears and toothed bricks on the inside, but it didn't click for me until about halfway through. When the wings fold up into the landed position, 4 small points drop down and become the landing gear. It's all one function. It's immensely satisfying to do. Not only is the landing gear moving in synchronization with the wings, which is just plain cool as a transformation function, it also serves a very logical purpose. The extra friction present in the operating gears helps keep the wings rigid and holding in any position at any angle. Other models in this tetrahedral shape either rely on a single fixed gear system that won't move unless you crank it in some way. That's like the UCS Tidarium or the custom UCS Tidarium, for example. And when it comes to smaller versions of ships with wings like this, like the Playscale Tidariums or the Playscale Skyhoppers, these wings are usually on ratcheted joints of some kind. David took this folding wing design and came at it from an entirely new approach, and what resulted is a new function that benefits the model in a huge way. The folding cannon at the bottom is also a pretty fun little feature. The clips clasp onto the mixel ball or around the mixel ball with just the right amount of friction to keep the cannon in place when folded, but you don't really have to pull at the cannon to get it to release, which can sometimes be the case if you're going to go for a basic bar clip connection here. The pilot fits into the cockpit area as well. It does require taking off a chunk of the model here and there to get the fig inside, but the breakaway points here are easy to find and reattach. This function is not so fluid like a simple play feature, so I'll just call it an interactive one instead. And as for some of the detail highlights on the ship, I think he did a really good job with the greebling in white. Just in general, this ship is a bit different actually than other Star Wars designs because the cluttered mechanical shapes are basically all done in white, with the darker colors remaining smooth and sleek. It's kind of the opposite for most other ships. There's a fun technique used to get the bumps in the fin. I simply cannot get over the plume dragons used on either side of the body. It really beats out any sticker detailing, and it makes the model feel very Lego-y, which I like a lot. And also the extra width added to the wing in the front with the tiled layer fits like a glove. Those are just some visual features that I really like. But speaking of fitting like a glove, let's talk about the stand briefly. It's a pretty unique shape, but that's because it's got to fit with this strange shape of the model on the bottom, and at the same time giving enough space in the center for this folding cannon. So the upside down arches are in fact just the right shape and size to fit around the Technic at the bottom of the ship. It's a pretty snug fit and surprisingly stable considering nothing's actually studded in. And then the opening in the center with the thin black panels allows for the cannon to fit in between. There is just enough space for this build to fit here, and that actually adds even more stability to the ship when it's on the stand. It's probably one of the most stable stands we've had for a ship in our whole studio, and there isn't even a single brick studding into one another. It's almost like David is a German engineer or something. All right, now let's get into the handling section of the video. This model picks up pretty well. It holds together in a decently solid fashion. You've probably noticed that the top fin doesn't have that quote-unquote required Technic lift arm running through it, but in fact it doesn't actually need any Technic lift arms here. The Skyhopper simply isn't heavy enough to need them. The fin is fair game for picking up the model, and depending on how you hold it, the wing technically works too in terms of being weight-bearing, but I wouldn't pick it up by the wing. There is simply no need. The bottom can be touched anywhere, so just handle your model in a way that doesn't unnecessarily put the build at risk. And then in terms of pop-off places, that's my new term for little pieces that pop off the model. I've noticed on the T-16 there are little clips and telescope pieces in white right in the front underneath the cockpit that have popped off before, and also the gray subassembly right underneath the windscreen. These little chunks can shift a little when you touch them, and then also break off when you touch them a lot. Outside of that, the model pretty much is gravy. It's really easy to swoosh around. And at the end of the day, this seemingly simple looking little design is a whole heck of a lot more than what meets the eye. For its size and weight, this is about as advanced as a model can get. The compact gear system on the inside is super efficient and very effective at pulling off what it needs to be able to do. The details here were super well calculated, and at the end of the day, what you get is a very clean and elegant little ship that really stands out. Now, alright, once these Jawas can fix the dang sandcrawler, it'll be fun to get these builds together for a scene in some way, shape, or form. And anyways, if you did want to build the T-16 for yourself, the instructions can be found at our web store, www.brickvault.toys. If you enjoy our content, please feel free to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, share, do whatever it is that you want to do. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.